Shrutismritipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namāmi Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhāshyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Gukarastundhakaro vai Rukarastanivartakaha Andhakara nirodhitvat Gururattabhidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Shanti Shanti. śrīhariṃ paramānandamupadeṣṭāramīśvaram vyāpakaṃ sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ tam namāmyaham aparokṣānubhūtirvai procyate mokṣasiddhaye sadbhireṣā prayatnena vīkṣaṇīyā muhurmuhuḥ. The locus of a superimposed object is called adhisthana. It's a technical word. The sthanam is the locus. Sthanam adhikritya. Yat sthanam adhikritya is adhyaropa. The superimposition is based upon which locus? That is called adhisthana. Therefore, the confusion is for an object to be taken for another. The mistake is because of not adharasya ajnanam, adhishthanasya ajnanam. The adhara, the meaning of the word this, that is there. You see an object there. But which object? That is not known. That accounts for the mistake, the error. So adhishthanasya jnanam is the hetu for aropa. Therefore, we are trying to understand the adhishthanam always. That is why Atma is not to be found. It is already surfaced. That is why we commit mistakes. And therefore it is available as I am, self-evident. Whether one is confused or one knows. That Atma is self-evident. What it is, that is adhisthana. until it is known. Once known, there is no adhisthana, there is no aropa. So, if this is understood in what we call satyam and mithya, mithya is what you cannot categorically say is or is not. And that is what everything is. This is adhisthana ananyate. That which is not independent of adhisthana. So that is mithya. We find even this mithya is not that simple, because I find there are two types of mithya, not one type of mithya. There again, I think, therefore it is. This is one mithya. It is, therefore I commit mistake is another type of mithya. It is, therefore I see. That is another type of mithya. The sunrise is there. We see that. We enjoy that. But that is one type of mithya. The seer seen sight, that mithya. We have to understand this better. We will understand. The seer is Satchidananda. The sight is Satchidananda. The seen is Satchidananda. That is to be understood. The seer, sight, seen. Knower, knowledge, known. This is all the way. Therefore, adhisthana ananyat mithya. If all the three are one and the same, the three are mithya. The one that is there as the truth of all the three is satyam, that is what we say, Brahma or Atma Satchidananda. That is to be assimilated. These three are mithya. We have to assimilate that. Now it's only a statement. Then this is mithya. The Jagat is therefore mithya. Neither illusion or delusion. It is as real as it is. Like the table, remember. Then there is another type of mithya, which is, I think, therefore it is. If I take the sunrise as real, sun goes on traveling from east to west. If I make a conclusion, that will be my own conclusion. It has nothing to do with the truth. That also is Satchidananda. Every confusion is consciousness. Without consciousness being the adhisthana, there is no confusion. So this mithya also is conclusion. Mithya. This also is consciousness. That I see you all. You see me. This is not delusion. At least seeing me is not delusion. So I am not delusion. Nor I consider you are a delusion. Then I can't be seriously teaching you. And therefore, so this is mithya, different type of mithya. When I say you are Satchidananda, am I waiting for Satchidananda to surface? Or am I pointing out the possibility of being Satchidananda, of your being Satchidananda? No. I am not talking about the possibility. I am saying you are Satchidananda. This is different. This is one mithya. The other mithya is, you think, therefore it is. The rope snake mithya. So the rope snake mithya has to be understood as something different from the table mithya, chair mithya. This is what we call object. Therefore, our orientation is, there is knowledge and there is object. Object cannot be reduced to pure knowledge. Why? Because it is, therefore I see. Whether it is a particle or it is a macro object, it is, therefore I see. That is why we need a pramana, means of knowing. And if the means of knowing is valid, and what is known is equally valid, therefore we are honing not the object, we are honing our means of knowing, our means of observation. We come to know more and more. We discover a new planet, very near Pluto. It's a new planet, some planet they discovered. And it is smaller than Pluto. And then the astronomers sat together, great wise people, sat together. Then should we include this newly discovered planet in the planets that we have got? They all said, no, it is too small to include. Then they said, even Pluto is small. Therefore, all of them decided, let us not call anymore Pluto as a planet. We have one less planet now. Because astronomers decided it is not a planet. That blessed thing is going around the sun still. But then, so it is not planet. These people have decided, therefore there is no planet. Okay? What I say, so whether you say it is there, it is not there, it is there. You didn't know before there was Uranus, Pluto, etc. They were there. And then when you got this telescope, you saw them. Then it was front page news. Pluto was accepted. Every horoscope carried also Pluto. Even though they don't know how we can make use of the presence of Pluto. We don't know. In a particular house, this Pluto is there. We are indifferent to Pluto and Uranus, where they are there, we don't care. We just see what we can. Because that is the only thing they know. The astrologers know only these 7. Sun including. Sun, Moon, Jupiter. Saturn, Mars. Venus, Mercury. That's all they know. And then the nodes, Rahu, Ketu. For predicting. But they don't say there is no Pluto, there is no Uranus, They are there. Whether we knew they were there. After knowing, of course they are there. What does it mean? The whole research discovery is that you are ready to be surprised. A thing that was assumed to be there is not there. A thing that is assumed means it was not there, is there. Like Arundhati. Vasishtha and Arundhati. The Vasishtha was taken to be one star. Arundhati, an inseparable another star. Vasishtha and Arundhati. This is the 7 stars together. The Great Bear. 7 stars. In Indian marriage, there is always the ritual. There is a ritual. You have to see Arundhati. Seeing Arundhati and Vasishtha, you cannot see Arundhati unless you see Vasishtha. Really. You have to see Vasishtha, then only you can see Arundhati. You have to go to Vasishtha and his wife Arundhati. And therefore, without fixing up Vasishtha, you will never see Arundhati. And therefore, so in the group of stars, 7 of them, the top one is Vasishtha. And once you know Vasishtha, you see, then you pay attention, you will find there is next to Vasishtha a star. That is called Arundhati. The married couple are supposed to see this. Ritual. The prayer is, we should be like Vasishtha and Arundhati. Always together. Okay? At what time they see? During the day. The marriage is during the day. They just look up and then that's over. Vasishtha and Arundhati, that ritual is over. Vasishtha and Arundhati. I think originally they used to have marriage performed in the night, like they do in the north. Then for convenience sake, they do it during the day in a good muhurmuhuḥ. Now they have discovered, yes, there is Arundhati, but Arundhati is not separate from Vasishtha. It is one star. Vasishtha and Arundhati are one star. It looks like 2. Telescope brings this new news. Understand? Therefore, what was considered a separate star is no more separate star. Arundhati and Vasishtha are really together make one. So we can still see, okay? What I say, the ritual can continue. But there is no second star. What do they arrive at? With all this, what do you arrive at? You come to know, it is there, you don't know, you keep discovering. What you think, you know it is there, may be discovered it is not there. This is called pramana prapta. There is a pramana. There is a means of knowledge and therefore an object is there. Now if the object is not there, you think it is there, rope snake. But table is not rope snake. 100 times you look at the table, table will be table. There is not rope snake. Therefore, this example, rope snake, is misleading. It is good only up to that point. One is mistaken for another. Itni baat hai. But especially in pointing out the samsaritvam, not the subject status, object status, but samsaritvam. I am samsari. I am one among the many. Atma is one among the many. And it is small, etc. This is purely subjective. It is not pramana prapta. It is avichara siddha. It is not through a means of knowledge you arrive at. It is purely avichara, absence of inquiry. No inquiry or wrong inquiry. Both of them, see, no inquiry means there is a chance to inquire. Wrong inquiry means you become a founder of religion, okay? And so, and conclusion. Wrong inquiry and conclusion, close the book. And therefore, so this rope snake example is meant only for pointing out the samsaritvam is purely subjective. That is also mithya. I am samsari consciousness. That consciousness is Satchidananda. Like I am the subject, I am the seer, that is also Satchidananda. But the seer has a reality. But this aham samsari has the reality as long as I do not know what Atma is. The adhisthana ajnanam accounts for it. So my not knowing the adhisthana as it is accounts for my experience of samsari. If experience is knowledge, samsaritvam becomes knowledge. Atma is experience. All experiences are because of Atma is experience. The word is Anubhuti. It is known. Anubhuti is experience. Anubhuti, immediate knowledge also. It's experience. So we are not shy of experience. We don't say there is no experience. In fact, everything is experience. Experience means consciousness. Atma is in the form of self-revealing consciousness experience. All experiences are this Atma alone. In this, there is knowledge, there is notion, projection, adhyasa, mistake, error. The error also is mithya. And therefore, one type of mithya is what you experience through, what you understand through a means of knowledge, implying knower, known knowledge, the means, etc. This is given. This is not created by any of us. Eyes are given, and therefore sight is possible. Form, color are given, and eyes can objectify the form and color, and therefore both are given. Objects are given, and the means of sight, eyes are given. And the eyes can function only when there is a mind. Mind is also given. And at the back of the mind, there must be the subject eye. The subject eye also is given. With reference to the mind, I become the subject, and there is a thought modified, a modified form called vritti, and there is object. And you see the object, I see you all, you see me. This is given. This is mithya. This is not delusion. This is not illusion. What is delusion? That is delusion. I am samsari and I am humble simple man. So that is delusion. Delusion means rope snake. That mithya, that is also mithya. Understand? So like in dream, you see the mountain. Therefore mountain is. Even though you are traveling in a ship, crossing the Pacific, you don't see land for days together. And your dream is that you are in Hawaii, because you are going to Hawaii. You are in Hawaii. The mountains, the sea. In the dream. Nothing to do, you are in the Pacific. Pacific Ocean means endless. There, the mountains are true. You think, therefore they are. You think, therefore they are. Experiences are all real. Your hunger is real. You are hungry. You went hiking on these mountains. You went up and fell down and nobody was there. And then you are hungry. You are 2 days you are lying there. Nobody came there. You cannot get up and go. Fracture. And hungry. What happened? What is the truth? The truth is, you had a huge dinner and so much you ate, and because of that alone is a dream. This is 6-course dinner, and that is the cause for this dream. What is the dream? I am hungry. Not only objects, your conditions, and which are just the opposite. You experience the opposite. It's all real. You think, therefore it is. It is something like idealism. You think, therefore it is subjectivism. The ism, I don't require this word. It is subjective. You think, therefore it is. In the waking world, it is not you think, therefore it is. Whether you think or you don't think, it is. Like the road bumps. Indian roads are full of these speed breakers. If there is an accident, they will put a speed breaker immediately. Speed breaker. That creates more accidents. And they don't indicate there is a speed breaker. They said, we did indicate. They don't maintain. And all that. We did have all those stripes. The stripes are gone. And you develop your back problem because of this bump. You ask the driver, why did you do that? I didn't see. So if you don't see also, it is there. You don't need to see for that to be there. It will tell you, I am here. All the potholes, whether you see them or you don't see them, they will tell you, and they will keep reminding you all through your lifetime. And they can create such impact upon you because they are there. Terminally ill people. And then the doctor says, oh, you have come too late. Why too late? Because you should have come so 1 or 2 years before. How would I know? That of course is difficult. It has been there. It has been there for 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. It has been there, slowly growing. So whether you know or you don't know, things are there. So these things are entirely different from what do you make out of them. And therefore, they're different from what you project. You project, therefore it is. Here, it is, therefore you know through a valid means of knowledge. One mithya is jiva srishtihi. It is the srishti of the jiva. Jiva is given the mind. Jiva is given the senses. Jiva is given the world. And therefore Jiva reaps experiences. Jiva is given slabs of memory. And the Jiva can hold all these memories. And the Jiva has the capacity to project and create. That is also given. The dream possibility is given. Dream also perhaps is a means for discharging certain emotions, unassimilated. That also can be exhausting some prarabdha karma in another model. And therefore, dream also is an experience, given. But what you experience is what you project. That's very clear. That is called jiva srishti. In the waking also, wherever there is subjective contribution to your perception, that is called adhyasa. You have a set of values. And these values, if you analyze them, you find there is so much load superimposed upon each value by your own need, by your own pressure, by your own background. There is so much subjectivity, and reduction of subjectivity is what is called living an objective life. A life of objectivity. And therefore, so here, this Vedanta is, I told you, it is just knowing the realities as they are. As they are, whatever it is. So what is subjective, you understand it. Subjective. What is objective with reference to subjective? What is objective? Then we understand it. It's objective. And then what is both subjective and objective, the adhisthana of both is what we teach as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. I bring in the word Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Satchit Anandam Brahma. Here we have a Shruti to tell us that what is given, this entire Jagat is from Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Will go back into Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Yathova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanta bishambishanti tad vijijñāsasva tad brahmeti. That is Brahman. Understand that. Vijijñāsasva. May you have a desire to know that Brahman. Vijijñāsasva. You have to maintain the desire until you know. From which all these have come, given. All these are sustained, means they are non-separate from which cause, and they all stay in that cause alone, and they go back. That is Brahman, and that Brahman you are. Therefore, the Jagat is from Brahma, sustained by Brahma, goes back to Brahma. Brahma Sarvajñam. These are all things we have to understand. Brahma Sarvajñam. Brahma is all knowledge. Sarvavit. This all knowledge alone is Brahman. There is no object. All knowledge is Brahman. Subject is Brahman, object is Brahman, all these one knowledge, all knowledge is Brahman. And all knowledge is consciousness. This is the thing we have to understand. When we understand, so we can proceed with the verses, okay? So when I come back, we will discuss that. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Arihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Arihi Om.